Hello and welcome to the Riser Virtual Cheese Wars 2025, showcasing the best in British cheese. I am Jonathan Piercy and I will be attempting to moderate this session. And alongside me, I have two amazing judges in Jane and Tanny. They will be judging the best of the waxed without additives cheese, which is category D5. And I will let them introduce themselves. So we'll go to Jane first.
Hi, so I'm Jane and I have quite recently come back to my family farming, dairy farm and cheese making business here in Devon. I grew up on the farm and we make a cloth bound cheddar called Quicks. And I have done some judging at the World Cheese Awards and I am very, very practiced at grading cheddar.
Okay, Tanny, on to you, sir.
Hi, I'm Tanny Gill. I have been involved with the British cheese for the last 20 odd years. Started my journey making the Isle of Mull cheddar and moved on. I have actively been involved with various judging competitions. I think this is my fifth Virtual Cheese Awards competition and been actively involved with the World Cheese and British cheese. I am based in Glasgow and distribute British cheeses and European cheeses to the Scottish market. So looking forward.
So you have a small amount of experience then, Tanny, in
Very
judging.
small.
Okay, so the judges will be using a point system based on 4 different attributes. So that's appearance, aroma, texture, and flavor. And then what will happen is at the end, we'll look at all the scores and we will pick one or maybe a couple of cheeses to put through to the category final stages, which is on Tuesday, the 10th of June. So without further ado, we'll get stuck in. So this is our first cheese and our only cheese in this category, which is D51052. And you just get cut into it and see what's happening, or if you can, Tanny.
Get some purchase on that.
Yeah, it's good. It's a nice cut.
Yeah. When you get a chance as well, James, you can put it up to the camera so we can see it as well. That's it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Looks good. I mean, you do tend to get a small spillage of the wax on the cut, but that's
Yeah.
okay. That's totally fine. Can be just cleaned off. But yeah, looks good. Good shape, nice aroma. It's slightly different to grading that Jane's used to.
Yeah. What sort of cheese do you think, looking at it, what sort of cheese are you imagining it to be?
In a hard, almost kind of cheddary style in a way. Just from the aroma, you can feel that lovely kind of sweet citrus aromas coming through
Right.
it. Again, just breaking it down a bit. It's lovely. Of course, it is pressed together, but you can see those lovely kind of, I don't know, can you see the layering of the
curds where it's broken?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jane, what are you looking appearance-wise? What do you think of it?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I associate with waxed cheeses very soft and not so much structure, but when I break this, kind of what Tanny was saying, I don't know if you can see that, but when you break it, there is some kind of structure.
Okay, yeah.
Which is I think very desirable. And so whether it's been, it doesn't look like a cheese that's been extruded, and I'm showing my lack of knowledge about extrusion here, but it looks like it's been cut and dipped rather than extruded. And
yeah,
and so we've also got some looks like tyrosine crystals
nice
as well.
Yeah.
And what are you getting aroma-wise?
There is that, as I said earlier, I think after tasting it, it kind of confirms it with a kind of lovely, kind of sweet aroma to it, almost there is that lactic element, but there's sweetness, kind of toffee-ish, almost toffee-like.
Yeah.
Mm.
Caramel notes, kind of. It is buttery, but I think the sweetness overpowers the buttery
Right.
element where your palate swayed towards one side of it. I think that's very classic character of these days, all the wax cheeses. But good loads of crystals in it. So nice age to it.
Yeah, and the smell fresh and lactic. There's some acidity on the taste that when I smell the cheese
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And so from the texture, what sort of texture are you getting from it? Because I know you said obviously to look at it, you can see it's got some clear structure.
Yeah. So it's still soft.
Yeah.
Maybe it was extruded, but it just has so it's not the it still has that softness, very desirable. And I think a lot of people love to, I know lots of consumers find that softness very delicious and palatable, and it's really that quick breakdown and cover of your tongue creates that
Yeah.
burst of flavor that I think is very desirable.
Right. Yeah.
It's also very interesting because the first bite or two, there is enough body in it or enough strength in the texture to bite it out. And then, as Jane says, it does soften very quickly, which becomes very desirable, and it sits on your palate where it gets gooey and mushy. So
Yeah.
really good. I mean, great appearance, very good texture, nice clean aroma.
Should we have a look at some scores then?
Yeah, we should, Jane. What do you think?
So appearance-wise, out of 10, what do we think?
Out of
Yeah.
10.
Oh, what did you say?
I mean, out of 10, yeah. I mean, appearance-wise, it looks what it should be, waxed-wise. It looks like a hand-waxed cheese, so you do see a bit of wax irregularities, but the cheese looks pretty perfect, like the way it's been put together. Jane?
Yeah, I think, as you say, it's quite common to have some smearing of the wax across the face of the cheese, but I didn't get too much of that. And then what I think is really great about that is that I think it's the hardness of the wax. It really helps with not having like a really soft wax that smears across the surface. So I think I would score it highly because, based on that.
Yeah.
And as Tony says, it's been, yeah, there is some. But some kind of I don't know what you'll call it, like artifacts on the surface of the wax, but I don't think that's a fault actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I would give it a 10, 9, 10, because you can't really fault it from the point of view of, the cheese looks lovely on the cut, really nice, clean.
Yeah.
Inside is nice, firm body together. So,
What do you think, Jane?
Yeah,
Where
I
would
would
you go?
say 9 or 10, and the only reason I would deduct a mark is because there is some
Yeah. So,
smearing.
do you want to go with a 9 or 9.5?
9, yeah, let's go with the 9, yeah.
9, yeah. Okay, beautiful.
Okay.
And then aroma out of 10.
I mean, the aroma is there, and I think it is what it should be. I wouldn't expect it to be any more aromatic than what it is, given the cheese.
Yeah.
I'd be quite happy with another 8 or a 9 on this. I don't know, what do you think, Jade?
Yeah, I would give it 9.
9? Okay,
Yeah.
lovely. And then texture.
Very good texture, I thought. The softness comes very quickly, nice firm body. Another 9 or a 10 for it. I think so. What do you think, Jade?
Yeah, I thought the texture was really typical, at the better end of what you would expect from this kind of format. So yeah.
Yeah. So would you say a 9?
Sorry, I have to say a number, don't I? 9. Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then flavor.
And I thought it was really good cheese, nice, clean, very clean on the finish, even after a while. palate's really nice. It's got a lovely flavor, short depth, but again, it's very good for what it is. I think I'd be happy with another 8 or 9. Or
Mm.
I mean, difficult to compare as this is the only cheese for itself for us, but for what it is by itself, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't tell if this is what we call at grading the first cheese effect. But it,
Yeah.
yeah, savory and no, not much. Well, there may be some I don't know how you call it, like whether it's a bit, maybe I can't think of the word right now, but it's like it's not quite clean, and I
Yeah.
can't
Okay.
think of what that word is, and that would be the only reason I'm going to give it a 10. Maybe we will go 8 or 9 there
Yeah,
for
I'm
that.
happy with the 8.
8.
8.
8 happy.
Okay. Lovely stuff.
As you rightly say, Jen, I think it's hard because the first cheese effect, that's the word I've been looking for the last 20 years, the first cheese effect. Yeah. So,
Right. So the winner of that one, shock horror, was that cheese D51052 because it's the only one we did.
excellent.
I think it was a really good example though of judging the cheese on the category it's in. You guys did a great job of like discussing the fact that this is the sort of cheese it's supposed to be, and I think that's a great way to judge all cheese, really, isn't it? So I think I'd like to thank Butler's Farmhouse Cheeses for sponsoring our aprons, and Miller's, oh, I can't see it. Miller's Crackers for being our cracker sponsor. I'd like to thank you both for your hard work in that judging that one cheese. It's not over yet though. We've still got stuff to do. And I'd like to say that there are. I'm reading. Sorry, I apologize. Category finals are on the 10th of June live, and our grand final is on Wednesday, the 11th of June, which will reveal the best British cheese, along with awards for recognised and talented individuals and passionate people in the industry, which is amazing because there's loads of them. And the day will culminate on the 11th of June with the Supreme Champion being announced. So we look forward to that as well. Thank you guys again for amazing work, and I will see you shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.